with what I experience down here, a lot of times is people try to go personally after someone.
Right.
They don't want to talk about policy. They don't want to talk about, hey, the pros and cons of this,
Right.
that, and the other. They want to go personal for someone. And like for me specifically, it's always a partisan thing.
Right.
They know I'm military, so they know that there's boundaries for my freedom of speech because of my
Right.
job.
Right.
They don't want stuff like this getting out. Because I'll tell you, man, you talk about your dad. One of the people who inspired me is that guy in the bottom right, Sam Johnson. He was a retired colonel from the Air Force. Amazing dude. He's a congressman from Texas. So he served in the Air Force. He was in Vietnam with John McCain and a bunch of other people in Hanoi.
Nice.
Survived, got out after 7 years, came up, but came back to Texas, taught as an instructor, and then went up to D.C. to try to do some good. And that's where I met him, as I was going up there as a little intern trying to,
Right.
find a life for myself.
Right.
And ended up, falling in love with that guy. He's just an amazing man who taught me so much, and that's me in my little ROTC uniform because I was like, well, hey, if the Air Force puts out people like you, I want to be part of it,
I hear
right?
you.
And that was my journey, both military, both personal, and as a conservative, right?
Right.
And what they do all the time with me is try to bash that, right? They want to go after me personally, and that's my point. I mean, they have a right to do that.
Right.
It's not true.
Right.
Okay? And they run
But-
around saying, oh, you're a socialist or this, that, and the other. It's
Right.
not true. But
I've
they have
heard
a
them.
right to say that. But I have a right to tell the truth,
Exactly.
especially about myself.
Oh yeah,
Right?
absolutely. You
And
know?
that's where you trust and expect the people to see through it. So
Right.
I appreciate you're one of those folks that can see through that stuff, man.
Well, the thing is I've always said if you want to get to know somebody, sit down with them and talk to them one on one. You'll learn quickly who they are and what they're about. And all the stuff that I heard about you beforehand, he's a what was what I was told. He's a Democrat.
Yeah.
He's a rhino. That's what it was. He's a rhino,
Yeah.
and he's here to push a Democratic agenda. And I've heard that.
Ridiculous.
And then once I met you and got to talk with you, I'm thinking and see, get to follow you around a little bit and see what you've done, everything, and get to know more about you. That's not true at all.
By your fruits you will know them. That's what I was
Exactly.
taught.